guys, we are talking all things AI. Holy cow. It's Michael Hellickson here, Club Wealth TV podcast. Guys, I am joined today by Rajeev, Sajja. Let me tell you about Rajeev really quick before we get started, but let me start with saying anything you want to learn about AI, if you want to be able to use AI in your business, you need to watch what we're going to be talking about today. And I'll tell you why. AI is taking over. If you're not dialed in on AI, you're going to be left behind. End of story. It's not an if, it's an absolute imperative. You have to have AI as part of your business. And we're going to talk today about the 5 AI platforms that you've got to be using in your business if you want to even just be able to keep up with AI technology. So my guest today is Rajeev Sajja, and he is the Senior Vice President of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Fox and Roach Realtors, bringing over 2 decades of experience in marketing and technology to his role. Recognized by Riz Media as a Riz Media real estate newsmaker in the futurist category for both 2023 and 2024, Rajeev is known for his forward-thinking leadership and commitment to innovation. He's passionate about helping agents adopt cutting-edge tools to grow their business. As the host of the weekly podcast, Real Estate AI Flash, Rajeev makes AI both approachable and actionable for real estate agents. Guys, this is going to be an awesome call, and I'll tell you specifically why, because Rajeev is first of all, he's very intelligent. You guys know I like to surround myself with really smart people. He's a super smart guy. And taking it a step further, he's not like this brand loyalist that only wants to share the best information with people from his brand. He's a guy that just wants to get the industry caught up with AI, ensure that real estate agents and industry insiders are using AI to help the real estate industry as a whole, and specifically to help your business. So, Rajeev, thank you so much for being with me today, man. I'm super excited about our call.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Michael. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is going to be great. All right, so we're going to talk about all things AI, but I want to start with this. All right, so what is AI and why should agents even care about it?
Yeah, it's interesting, Michael. We just passed the 2-year anniversary of ChatGPT, November 30th, 2022, right? But AI it's crazy. I mean, it's been like a decade in technology, normal technology. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But prior to November 30th, 2022, AI has been working in our lives all the time. I mean, Google Maps uses AI, Spotify, Netflix, all these technologies have been using AI with large data, crunching data. I don't know if you know this, Michael, Netflix, 80% of the movies that Netflix recommends people watch because of their habits. So again, that's driven by AI. So nothing new there. Yep. But what changed November 30th was now each and every one of us have intelligence on demand with tools like ChatGPT. And we're on that journey now for the last 2 years and obviously looking into 2025. And I think the journey, it's early, but agents need to jump on board because I believe that there will be a separation season. There'll be agents that use AI, people that are just kind of dabbling with it. And we'll talk about the various ways people are using it today and how they can elevate their game, because Club Wealth is all about elevating your game, right? So, and people are going to make it so integral to their business that it'll create separation season with AI. And that's really, I think we're early, but people need to recognize it. And if you're listening to this show, don't worry, with the speed of AI evolution, I've never seen in my lifetime, the speed at which it's going, right? So don't worry about keeping up. If you're having FOMO, don't worry about it. Nobody's keeping up. But I try, but I don't succeed. But I think it's important for you to recognize that you need to be on this journey. Do something with AI that you've not done last week. Do something this week. That's my message, and we'll get into that as well. So.
Well, and to your point, when it comes to how quickly AI is growing, the rate of acceleration is incredible, right? It's not just that it's growing exponentially quicker than any technology we've ever seen before. I think personally, and I'm going to go way off on a deep tangent for 2 seconds here, but I really think that the one limiting factor for AI worldwide, particularly in America, is going to be the power grid. And, I really think that's the only thing stopping us from being in, Terminator days. We're going to see Arnold Schwarzenegger come around the corner and AI is going to be taking over. But I think that because AI is so power intensive, so processing intensive, and now with quantum computing, if once the power grid catches up, and I think it's going to take probably many nuclear power plants to really provide the amount of power that AI really needs to really progress. to levels that we can't even imagine yet.
And all these big, large tech companies, Microsoft, Google, Meta, they're investing in nuclear power plants, like to power the grid. I mean, I read an article recently, $1 trillion has been invested just in 2024 on AI tech. I mean, that is not slowing down. That bus is not slowing down because we're in an AI arms race with these big tech companies, and they want to get to the finish line. There's no finish, but they want to get further than the other competitors. So,
yeah. Well, and to your point, I like that you called it the arms race. Now, look, I don't want to get all crazy here where this isn't going to be about, Armageddon coming and all that stuff. That's not our goal for the call today. But I do think it's a topic that at some point when you and I have maybe a little bit more time, maybe we do another call, I would like to go down that rabbit hole a little bit, because honestly, I think there's some real concern. I think if you listen to Elon Musk, for example, I think the more we learn a bit about AI, the more scared we become, and probably rightfully so. And to your point, it is an arms race. And it's whether we're talking about in our business, and there's a window. You kind of nailed it, right? There's a window, a period of time where this is going to take over a ton of functions inside our business. And then once we get past the AI component, then it's going to be AI coupled with robotics. And all of a sudden now we don't know where that goes. Like that gets really crazy. So let's just, for today, let's bring it back and let's talk about, okay, how can agents learn learn more about AI and how to make AI effective in their business right freaking now, not 10 years from now, but like this year, 2025, how do we learn about it? How do we make sure we're using it effectively?
Yeah, so I think AI starts with knowing the foundation of prompting, right? So prompting is the concept of telling the large language models, like if you're new to this industry, like ChatGPT is a large language model from OpenAI, Gemini from Google, Copilot from Microsoft. It doesn't really matter, but we'll talk about our top tools here. Stay tuned till the end. But it's about the effectiveness of prompting. So most people have played with ChatGPT when it came out, did their first listing description. Now you can look on Facebook and you can call out AI descriptions because they've not learned the skills of prompting. So when you're skilled with AI, and I say this to people, Michael, you know you're skilled with AI when nobody knows you're using AI to do your job. Okay, right. So that's an easy way to think about that. So I have a framework, and we'll include the link in the show notes and give you the links. I have a playbook on my podcast site that talks about a foundation. We call it the 4P foundation. First P is priming, and we'll come to prime. That's the most important part of a foundational mechanism. The next one is prompt. Prompt is the instruction that you're giving to AI. For example, write a listing description, create a social media post. That is instruction for prompting. And then whatever it gives you, you got to polish it, because AI is not a real estate agent. You are. Your word is what's getting out there. You polish it and then choose to publish it. So that's the 4 Ps. I get into a much more detail. You can get the playbook. It's publicly available. It's been viewed by 30,000 realtor agents all over the country. So you're welcome to use it. And make sure you bookmark it, because I update it monthly, if not sooner. So there's new strategies coming in there. And then let's get into prime. So prime is, I have another acronym. What's a podcast in real estate without acronyms, Michael? So, right? So there's only 2 acronyms, 4 Ps, and then RISE. RISE is role, input, steps, and expectation. Let's walk through a live example. So as an example, let's say I'm writing an email to homeowners in my database. I'm just picking that as a use case with more than 50% equity in their homes, about why selling your home is a good idea. So the role is, you are an experienced, let's say I'm writing an email. You are a world-renowned email marketing specialist that focuses in the real estate industry, bringing stories to life. Let's just say I gave that. And again, there's no right or wrong here, but that's a role. Email marketing specialist is a role. I've heard reports, and I've tried it. If you say you are, it instantly assumes that role. But if you say act as, that is not as powerful as you are. Okay, so just some pro tip. So if that's a role, but let's say you're doing social media. Maybe you're a world-renowned social media expert that is known to create viral hooks and clicks to my destination from my social. So that's a role. Input is what you're giving it now. You're saying the goal is to write an email to homeowners in my database that have more than 50% equity. That's input. If you don't give it that, most people are doing this, Michael. They're just write an email. I want to send an email to my database, thinking why is now a good time to sell. That is AI mediocrity.
Yeah.
Okay? You can call it out when you see it. But if you learn priming and prompting the way we're talking about as a good foundation, then the email comes out. I mean, I use AI for my emails and nobody knows I'm using AI because it's my tone, my language, all of those things. So that's input. Steps, the other big pro tip I tell agents that I talk to, Michael, is if it's a complex situation, like in this case, you wanted to dig more and learn more about that task before it starts writing it, I say, ask me any questions you have about this task before you generate the output. Mm-hmm. So then it'll start spitting out, okay, what is the length of the email? That's the other step you got to give it. If you don't specify length, AI likes to please people. So it's going to spit out like 1,200 word email, and that's not what you wanted. So those are all steps. And then expectation is obviously the output you want from it. Is it a one email? Is it a 3-part email campaign? All those are, inputs and steps and expectations. So 4P and rise every time you're using AI, and you'll be more skilled than most people using AI today.
This is huge. I'm going through these steps, so the role, the input, the steps, the expectations. And I mean, this is huge. And I think that if you approach AI like this, and for example, with the role, act as if you are me, or act as if you are a real estate agent or whatever. I think that is just framing it like that really changes the output that you get from AI. One of the things that I really like, by the way, is that AI can learn your personality, right?
Yeah.
ChatGPT, for example. And by the way, quick side note question on ChatGPT, do you recommend having both your own, like teaching it in your own profile and using the workspace, or do you recommend doing that in the workspace with your team so that they can collaborate and you're building ChatGPT's knowledge base of you?
So there's a few ways you could go. Most people have not subscribed to a ChatGPT Plus account. By the way, if you're listening to this, $20 is a steal of the century. Okay,
I agree, 100%.
Do it. Okay, yep. AI is your affordable leverage, and we'll get to the tools, and I'll tell you how you can maximize it. So ChatGPT Plus is a no-brainer, and when you do that, you get access to tools that are not available for the free. Most things that we're talking about are available for the free version. If you've not started with AI, start with the free. You'll discover its limitations, and then you upgrade. Okay. Yep. So one of the things that they recently launched, Michael, is projects. So as an example, it's like putting all your chats, documents, instructions in one project. So I have a project for email marketing with my tone, my voice, and I go in there and I start typing, and it knows all of the things. And here's another pro tip. If you've done other campaigns, if you've done email pre-AI that have resonated really well with your audience, copy and paste them.
Yep.
Because it knows how to generate. That's where you kind of tailor it to your voice. So to your point, if you have a group of agents on your team, let's say you're learning a large team, you have 15 to 20 people, agents, maybe there's 10 people that have, let's say all of them have Plus accounts. You could I would encourage you to move towards ChatGPT for teams, up to 150 people, which at that point, you could do a lot of sharing. The data is protected more privacy-wise. Again, make sure you don't upload anything confidential into the general model because it learns from whatever you're uploading. So Teams is what I would recommend if large teams, which are a big part of Club Wealth, can move towards, but start with an individual Plus account, learn, and grow.
Okay, so now on that, so I created that Teams account. I just recently, again, total side note here, but I'm curious because I think just recently ChatGPT had an outage, and it was kind of right? And on that day, I got a bill for like $550 or something like that. Is that legit? Are they really asking me for $550? I can't
No, I don't think it's legit.
And that's the problem is I'm trying to get back into my account, and it's telling me, oh, you have to settle your billing on your account. It shows my recent $20 or whatever payments, the last 3 that I've made, 9th of every month. And then all of a sudden it won't let me do anything from that screen on my phone. I'm probably have to get on my computer and do it.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is ChatGPT for Teams. So Plus is $20 a month, individual subscribers. But if you go to Teams, I believe it's 25 or 30 per account, and you need to have at least 2 or more people to get to Teams. So if you did something for like 15 people, that would add to 500, but just check. I think it's erroneous.
It's not that big. Yeah, I think you're right.
So that's where it is.
So how do you get customer service there? That's the question.
I know.
So
maybe you should call the most recent announcement. Maybe you should call 1-800-CHAT-GPT. They just announced that, recently. But I'm sure there's a support. Yeah.
This is awesome. So all right, so keep going. So we're going to use this planning or priming, prompt, polish, and publish. The priming aspect is rise, roll, is the rise. That's role, input, steps, expectations, and so keep going. What's our next step?
So once you've understood that, then you start moving towards personally. Most real estate agents, and I believe this, none of the real estate agents, what we do as agents is not going to be automated at least at a transaction level, because most our business is human. Mm-hmm. So I have a saying that, if you automate the ordinary, you can personalize the extraordinary, right? And automating the ordinary is looking at your business and identifying the tasks. So what do you do when you get a buyer? What do you do when you get a listing? And you will identify workflows in that process and say, you know what? And most people's bane of existence is writing listing descriptions, Michael. Mm-hmm. Right? So maybe you need to build we're going to get into this. If you have the paid account, you can build custom GPTs. So the concept of a custom GPT is very simply Chat GPT for a specific purpose. And this is available for free users as well. The only difference here is if you have the paid account, you can build your own GPTs. Mm-hmm. Free, you can access anything that's in the GPT store. Think of your app store or your, Google Play Store. There's a bunch of apps. So if you go to log in on your web account or on your app on your phone, you'll see on the left menu, there's Explore GPTs. That's like the App Store. If you go there are 3 million GPTs and counting. Okay.
Wow.
Now, some of them are good. Most of them suck. Okay. Because you don't know what went into building them. Right. Yeah. So the output could be all over the place. Some are really good. So what I've done, Michael, and we'll put a link, it's in my playbook. I've built like 6 or 7 specific for real estate agents. So if you go to the GPT store and type in my name, Rajeev Sajja, they'll show up. And we can talk about a couple so people can get an idea what that would do for them. Again, it's a workflow.
And I want to stop right there because I've seen some of these custom GPTs that you've built, and dude, they're on fire. I mean, they're very good. I'm really impressed. And frankly, I think everybody should do exactly what you just said. So I'm going to repeat it, guys. You need to go to the Chat GPT store, type in Rajeev Sajja, and you need to look at the GPTs that he's got in there. There's some stuff that will blow you away at what it will do for you, how simple it makes it, and how quickly it happens, guys. It's free. That's the other thing. Free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Doesn't cost anything. So let's talk about a couple of them just to tease them so they know it exists.
Yeah.
So when you go to any custom GPT, if you don't know this, it's good to know. You can simply ask the GPT, what does this GPT do? And it'll just document what it does. So let's talk about the first one we have. I have a one-click listing presentation GPT. Mm-hmm. So as you're going into a listing appointment, let's say I'm coming to Michael's house to have the appointment. It's appointment, you're not getting the listing yet. Hopefully you will once you walk out. Right. So, but I know his address. I know some basic information about his house, public record stuff I can pull. And all this GPT needs, giving it that information, and it will generate a LinkedIn post, a social media post, Instagram, YouTube script, and ends with a 30-day marketing plan, all in conversational tone, professional tone, and luxury tone. And the idea for you, and agents are using this, is over a few hundred people already used it. And I get comments on it every week, and they walk in with their listing presentation, but they print this output from AI and say, this is how I responsibly use AI to amplify your listing so most eyeballs are seen. And if you make it and position it that way, you're winning the listing, right?
What I love about this, I mean, you're not saying, hey, you got to change your whole presentation. You're just saying, look, as one of your marketing tools, as one of, it's just where everybody's showing their marketing plan, whatever, as as one of the tools in your arsenal, you need to be talking about AI with potential sellers and just tell them, hey, here's what I'm going to do. And here's the thing, you don't have to put a lot of effort into it. And the way your program works, the way your GPT works, is that literally you're typing in the address of the property and it's spitting out, this is the specific, property specific AI usage case for that property. And you show that to the seller, and the seller looks at it and they're saying, holy cow. First of all, nobody else is talking about AI. Second of all, you've got something that you've already created for me that is unique to my house. And it shows exactly what you're going to do, how you're going to use AI to help me get my house sold. And by the way, it took you a whopping 2 seconds to type in their address and it spits it out.
Yeah. And ChatGPT recently, one of the things I struggle with ChatGPT is I spit out the 30-day marketing plan, right?
Yeah.
And most agents might not agree with all 30 tasks because they may be doing something different. The beauty, if you have the Plus account and now the free one too, ChatGPT just launched Canvas. Canvas is collaborating with the output so you can edit it on the fly.
Yeah.
So learn more about Canvas. Again, I did a video on my YouTube channel so you can make it your own and then print.
And short answer on Canvas is it's basically like having Microsoft Word or something
Google
like that.
Doc. Google is a good example.
Google Doc, better example. Yeah, okay, better example. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's showing my age here. But yeah, Google, it's like having a Google Doc up and you're literally just editing that thing right then and there. And it spits it out. Dude, and by the way, guys, if you're following my lead, if you're doing what I'm suggesting, what we suggest at Club Wealth, you're going to have your assistant do all this. So not only are you going to use AI in your business, you're going to get your assistant trained up on the use of AI. So they're going to do it. It's going to make you a ton more effective. And game over, you're separating yourself from everybody else. This should help.
Separation season. Yeah.
Yeah. If all it does is help you get an extra 2% of the listings you go on, for every 100 listing appointments you go on, that's an extra 2 listings. Look, you're going to go on 100 listing appointments a year, at least. You better be going on a lot more than that. But if you go on 100 listing appointments a year, you use this tool, it's going to cost you in terms of time all year on those 100 listings. I'm going to say it's going to cost you 2 total hours of time for all 100 listing appointments. And it's probably not even close to that. And it's not your time, it's your assistant's time. And oh, by the way, on those 2 listings, how much money are you going to make? So let's just assume that it's an average. You're going to make, let's say 10 grand per listing. That's $20,000 divided by 2 hours. That's $10,000 an hour. I'd say that's pretty good ROI.
Very, very good ROI. And if people that are listening want to watch like live demos, just go to my YouTube channel. I release weekly videos on how to, because we bring receipts.
What's your YouTube channel? Why don't you throw it in the chat here and I'll put it in the Facebook post.
Yeah. I will add it in the chat here.
And if they want to subscribe to your newsletter, I want to make sure we get this out there too. It's realestateaiflash.com. realestateaiflash.com. Guys, go there, subscribe to his newsletter. There's no cost. And it's just great information. He's got a podcast that's on every week. You need to get on that, learn about AI, get your assistant listening to it. All right, keep going, Rajeev.
Yeah. So there's 6 or 7 custom GPTs, and I encourage you to use it. So now you get the second one we'll talk about, and we can move topics. So the second one is, if you go in with this plan that we're talking about, Michael and I, you will win the listing. So now you're going to get the listing. And unlike most agents that are doing just chat GPTing listing descriptions, I've built a custom GPT specific for listing descriptions that understands fair housing and can read the pictures of the house and incorporate that into the description. So go down, look at things that, like if you upload a picture of a circular driveway, you don't need to put that in the description. It's going to write it in the description. So giving it features, etc. So study the custom GPTs. There's 6 or 7 more to come. And if you're hearing this thing and you know what, that's a good idea, I need to build one, I'd be glad to brainstorm and kind of help you build one as well. So just kind of reach out. Because we are about moving the industry forward with AI.
Pretty cool, man. I'm super excited about it. Okay, so we've talked about a bit about ChatGPT. You said there were 5 key technologies that we need to be implementing in our business. I'm assuming ChatGPT is number 1. And so what are the other 4?
So ChatGPT is 1, Plus account, because you need. Eventually, most of the teams that are listening to this or whoever's listening to this will build your own GPTs, so therefore you need your own. But so that's first. The second one is perplexity. So think about this, Michael, and I'll give this analogy. It'll resonate with people because most of us go to Google and search for stuff. And you get 10 blue links and you're spending hours trying to figure out stuff. So Perplexity solves that problem. Google is working on some stuff, but Perplexity is the unicorn for search in AI now. They got some competition, but I'll leave it since this is the end of 2024. If we do this podcast again, who knows what the tools are going to be.
It may change. Yeah, it changes every day, it seems like.
Give us that grace here,
Yeah.
But so in the summer, May, 13 of us, 3 families, Michael, we're going to Costa Rica. I love to give analogies because you get it, because you understand how much time it saves you. And I was unfortunately nominated to come with the agenda, what we're going to do every day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And we were going to an all-inclusive resort. So I gave it Perplexity a massive prime prompt, and said, you're a travel consultant. But most importantly, I gave it, we're going to this resort. We want to stay 3 days in the resort, 2 days go out. Here's the diet restrictions, the whole thing. And what activities we want to do, zip lining, the whole thing. And it gave me an agenda for day 1 to day 5 and what you can do, distances, the whole thing. And I clicked share and I shared it with the parents and we were at the finish line within the hour. Now tell me, if you had to do that without Perplexity and you had to Google everything and figure this out, how long would that have taken?
It would have sucked. I'll be honest with you. I would have got halfway through the task and quit.
And I'm going to another example, quick example. I'm going to India next month in late January, and I'm going to with my son. And so I put the travel itinerary into Perplexity, the whole thing. And I said, next day we want to go to the Taj Mahal. We're landing in New Delhi because he's never seen it. I've seen it when I grew up there. And it gave me the whole agenda. So think about using it. And I believe if you use AI personally, it'll automatically translate to professionally. And Perplexity is an example for that for me. That's what my aha moment was with Perplexity. So Perplexity is your app number 2. Let's go to app 3. I'm sure Clubwell teaches this, the importance of doing video.
Oh, absolutely.
So the next 2 I'm going to give you are video related. Captions AI. Captions app. It's an app on your phone. It's, I think, not $10 a month or $65 a year. I'm a sucker for deals, so I got the yearly deal, and you'll know why. So
how much per year?
$65.
65. Gotcha.
And what it does is it has plethora of features, but the things that you could do with it is, 1, it can convert your video into a different language. So it's got like 20 languages.
So hold on, you're talking about audibly or in text?
Audibly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And okay, so here's the next question I got to ask you. Is it a weird voice? Does it make it sound like your voice in a different language?
It's pretty close. Pretty close.
Really?
Pretty close. So second thing it does, most people have a problem looking at the camera when they're recording. I mean, at least I have, like I'm looking sideways.
Yep.
And it has something called AIEYE contact. So once you upload your video, and if you're looking sideways, it does its best job to adjust your eyes to look at the camera without having to use the video. Again, I'm touching the surface of what captions can do. You can even create an avatar, AI avatar of you. So if you upload your video, it can create videos of you. So again, look into captions. There's a lot there for video because video is big. And not just in 2024.
And this is the Captions AI app. You just go to the App Store on Google or
okay. Yeah. And you can do it all on your phone. That's the beauty of it.
And this works for Android, right?
Yes.
And I'm saying that because I feel bad for all the iPhone users out there. I just, what's really cool is you guys, are you an iPhone or an Android?
iPhone.
Oh my gosh. But hey, good news. You guys finally, after 6 years now, finally have USB-C. Congratulations.
USB-C and also scheduled text.
Right? Which that's a decade behind. Come on.
I know. Like 2024, we had to get it. It's like, so, right. So Captions AI.
Okay.
Go to app number 4.
Yeah.
Most, and we're doing this on, we're recording this and streaming it live. We do long form video. Agents do property videos.
Yeah.
So as you do video, long form is anything longer than 5 minutes. Let's just call it that for now.
Okay.
I use Opus Pro, or if you just Google it, you'll find it, Opus Clip. Yeah. So what it does is, like I do podcasts just like you, Michael, and my podcasts are 15 to 20 minutes on long form video. I simply upload the long form video to Opus Pro, and it gives me viral clips that are vertical that become good reels that I can use to promote. So if you're doing a property video, you can take your time, talk about everything, and it's going to give you 6 to 8 clips and gives you a viral score. Like, this is going to go viral because of what you said on the video. So it reads the video automatically and you don't have to hire a video editor. AI is your affordable leverage if you know how to use it.
And okay, to your point though, you're saying that Opus Pro will literally intelligently figure out which of those clips are going to get the best engagement on social media.
Yeah.
Dude, unbelievable.
Right? And I upload 15 minutes podcast and I get like 10 clips. I don't use all 10. I like watch it and kind of say, okay, these 3 are good. And I start from the top because that's the viral score.
Right.
Last one, and it's hard to pick 5, is in real estate, agents do staging. And I would encourage you to look. I mean, they've been familiar with Box Brownie. These are all staging companies that have used some level of AI in the background. But I want you to check out Virtual Staging AI, virtualstaging.app. Recently got acquired by Zillow, so that should be a hint for you. But it's still a great app. Again, give us the grace because the app might change, but the concept of leveraging it for virtual staging in your business has never been cheaper and better with AI.
So virtual staging is it's just virtual staging app on Play Store.
It's not well, they call it the app. It doesn't have an app on your phone. It's a web app. So you go to virtualstaging.app on your website on a computer. You can do it on a phone too. I've done it on a phone, but it's not an app on your phone that you download for the website.
Yeah, that's not confusing at all. Okay, so
especially the URL they pick .app.
Right. I mean, what the freak? All right. So virtualstaging.app. I love that. By the way, while we're talking, I want you guys, everybody watching this, type in what AI technologies are you guys using? I want to find out from the audience, what are all the different AI tools that you're using in your business? And by the way, I have a feeling there's a bunch of AI being used in our businesses that we're not even aware of. You know, because of the
and I think over time, and this we can end with this when we finish up with the where is it going forward? So we'll give a bonus, Michael. This is all about giving bonuses. We said 5, but I'm going to give a bonus 6th. Okay. So most of us sit in a lot of meetings, client meetings, team meetings, all of it. Okay. So I'm showing you a hardware device called Plaud, PLAUD.ai. For the last 3 months, and I do not promote anything that I'm not personally using and have seen good results. That's just who I am. I'm not an AI expert. I'm just a power user of AI. So I've not sat and written any notes at meetings because most people, Michael, I think we all recognize that we either listen or write. We just can't do both at the same time. People are stuck at multitasking. So what I've done is I simply use this, click the button at the top and turn it on. And it records the whole transcript of the meeting. Obviously, if you're in a client meeting, take permission. Nobody will decline it if you ask it the right way, right? Ask the permission right. So I record it and it syncs to an app on this is an app, Plaud.ai on your phone. And it has the full transcript, but you can click a button and say, generate an AI summary. And it just puts AI on top of your meeting minutes. And if your client said, hey, I'd like to connect with your, mortgage rep. It says next steps. It already does it. Next steps, Michael, connect your client to a mortgage rep. So it just gives you all that without having to do those minutes.
Okay, first of all, I love it. I think that sounds phenomenal to me. The problem I'm seeing with this, and I call me simplistic, but I mean, why do we have to have a separate piece of technology, a physical, hardware piece of technology, in order to use this app? Why can't they just make it work with the microphone on your phone?
You could. The challenge you're going to have is there's no AI built into it. It's a pure transcript, right? So it's like the whole discussion, and it's not intel on top of the discussion. So what it does is you can actually simply say, like, I recorded a whole conference day. Right? People are talking all that stuff. It just filters out all the stuff and puts all of the highlights in a summary. It also has a little clip at the back of your phone, so you can just snap it. And with permission, you can record client conversations and take that transcript and kind of have ChatGPT AI teach you how you can do those things better. So it's all documented and you don't need to worry about it.
Hold on. So you're saying you can use it just with the phone, but it won't give you the AI component. It'll just give you straight transcript, or you're just
no. All I'm suggesting is you can snap it here and record phone calls, but you can also record meetings.
But hold on, but Rajeev, okay, first of all, it's a great technology. I'm not knocking it. It sounds great, but it's just frustrating to me. I mean, it's 2025, well, it will be in a few days. It's 2025, and they're making me put another piece of freaking hardware on my phone. I don't understand why they can't just make that app work with the phone with the AI.
Eventually, and there are people that are listening to this show are probably familiar with Otter AI. It's an app on your phone. And the reason I like this more than a phone is it does a better job. I've tested both. Okay. But if you did this podcast in 2025, maybe it's an app on your phone and the device goes away. But at this moment in time, this is the best solution I found for recording meetings and documentation. So
I love the idea that and by the way, I got a shout out to Sharif Hatab. I'm guessing you know Sharif, it sounds like.
I know him well, yes.
Well, he's saying hello. He's actually one of our coaches and a client, of course. And Sharif says freaking said, in fact, he coaches my son, or I think he coaches Austin. Sharif, are you still coaching Austin? Type that in the chat. I think you are. But anyway, long story short, I love that the idea of, and I might just get one of these just to start recording our conferences and be able to publish a synopsis of our conferences. Now the question is, how do we take that? Can we take that? Can I record the conference on plod.ai and then go back into Captions AI app, put that transcript into Captions AI app, combine that with the AI technology of me, and can it make a video of me giving the synopsis of the event?
You could, and you could also just take your slides that you're going to do at an event, put it in ChatGPT and say, give me a video script, and put that script, use your AI avatar, and Captions will do the video, and we think it's Michael, but it's your digital twin.
Bro, I'm so messing with it. I'm telling you right now. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Because I've got a bunch of video of Sharif, who's, by the way, still listening, and he says, yes, he is actually coaching Austin still. And so what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go in there and take video of Sharif, and I'm going to start making videos of Sharif teaching stuff.
This is where I think we'll eventually conquer this. Cloning yourself is great, but cloning others off the table. But I know you're kidding.
And by the way, I hear you say off the table, and from an ethical standpoint, a moral standpoint, I completely agree. But the reality is it's being done already, and it's being used done, but in a lot of cases for nefarious purposes. In fact, I think before we wrap up, I think one thing that we should mention is that one of the big scams out there right now is that people are doing that. They're doing deep fakes, if you will, of your mom, and your mom calls you up and says, hey, I'm in jail. Your kids call mom up and they say, hey, I'm in jail. I need you to send money, wire money to get me out of jail, blah, blah, blah. And you can't tell it's not your kids. And so there's some really crazy implications of AI.
Yeah, I think the unintended consequences, Michael, for a technology like this is I think we need to do more to earn trust.
Yeah.
And therefore do all the things. I mean, again, the scams were there before AI, but I think they're getting more personal with AI. So we just need to if you learn AI well, that's where I think one of the things, if you're skilled with AI, you can call them out much better than if you're not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah, no, I love it. And by the way, Sharif, since you're listening, brother, I want to hear from you. What are your favorite AI technologies, man? What are you using? I know you're getting pretty deep into this as well. And so I'd love to hear more about that. Now, Rajeev, we're going to have you back on. This is not going to be the last time you and I talk. I'm going to probably
a lot going on for sure.
No, there really is. There's a lot to unpack, and our audience needs to hear more from you. And what I want to do is at some point, I'm going to get you to come out and speak at one of our events and have you share what you're doing. And guys, I want to be clear about this. Rajeev, he's not monetizing this at this point. Now, there is a plan at some point to maybe eventually monetize. Is it your newsletter? Is that what you're going to eventually?
No, so I am working on building an AI academy, Real Estate AI Academy.
Yep.
If you go to my Real Estate AI Flash website, you can sign up to be on the wait list. Again, probably it's a Q1 launch. But again, that is not a monetization strategy. It's just to keep the lights on, to keep it going, to serve the industry at large. There are obviously some basic costs involved. So it'll be the cheapest academy that you'd ever subscribe to if and when we launch it.
I love people like you that are serious about helping the industry out and recognize the need for good people to step up and take care of things. It's like the old quote goes, all it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. And at the end of the day, it really applies to our industry, right? If we want this industry to exist, and frankly, I think real estate's the best industry on the planet. I mean, it's like having a real estate license is like having a license to print cash. And if we want that to be available for our kids long term, then guess what? We got to take care of it, and we got to make sure that we provide them a runway where they can ramp up their business and still have an industry over time. So that said, Rajeev, final comments. I know you've got a hard stop, and I want to be respectful of your time. So final comments. What else would you like to wrap up with?
I would say, make a decision to integrate AI strategically into your business, no matter where you are in the journey. If you're starters, if you're in the middle, if you're moving fast. And I have 3 resources for you. I think Michael has shared that on the stream, but one is the podcast. Search for Real Estate AI Flash. It's a weekly podcast. We're just hitting the anniversary, 1-year anniversary of the podcast. And I interview agents from across the country. And if you're doing some cool stuff, and I know Club Wealth is the top 1% of agents in the country, you must be doing some cool stuff with AI. Reach out to me. Maybe we'll get you as a guest on the pod, because our goal is to make it approachable and actionable for real estate professionals. And there's a weekly newsletter you can subscribe to where I share actionable live videos and show you stuff. You can subscribe to all of that at my website at realestateaiflash.com. And thank you for having me, Michael.
I love it. Fantastic. Rajeev, seriously, thank you for taking the time. I've put that on the Facebook post as well. And guys, here's the bottom line. End of the day, you got to get involved. You got to get AI into your business. Rajiv's one of the great experts in the industry. Rajeev, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you a quick phone call right after we wrap up this, because I want to tie off a couple of loose ends with you. But guys, again, give a shout out to Rajeev. If you got value out of this, give it a share, give us a like, give us a follow. And throw a comment into the chat here and let us know that you appreciated what Rajeev shared today. Thank you, Rajeev, so much. Super appreciate it. And guys, we'll see you next time on Club Wealth TV. Take care. Club Wealth is the only coaching company on the planet that will literally guarantee that you will double your income or make at least an extra $100,000 your first year coaching with us, or we will give you 100% of your investment back. Click the link below, sign up for the appropriate tier level, and let's get you a strategy session today. And I promise you, I 100% guarantee you, promise you that you will walk away with a heart full of gratitude for the time that we took for you, because you got so much value out of that call. Schedule your strategy session today. I promise you'll be glad you did.